Good morning. Let me try that again. I had a little problem with my microphone, so I had to reattach it. So anyway, yeah, good morning, folks. Today I'm going to do a review of the C5 motorcycle lane. See that little blue line on the left? The blue lines are supposed to indicate the motorcycle lane. At this point, I don't know what that means because I don't know if it's the left or the right. I'm assuming it's the right because the MMDA is supposed to mark both the left side and the right side of the lane. Oh, see? Here, now we have the left and the right, so I'm going to move over. So I'm going to take a ride along C5 this morning. Still fairly early, it's still about 10 to 8. And I didn't want to ride in too much traffic. Just to give a review of this motorcycle lane, see really if it's helpful or not. I will issue a disclaimer. I'm a little biased against it, but I'll try to be a little objective this morning. So we are told about a couple weeks ago the MMDA issued a press release saying they were modifying the motorcycle lane and yellow bus lane policy. Yeah, wait. And there's a lot of chit chat, especially amongst the motorcyclists, about whether or not we agreed with this new policy. Like I said, I'm kind of biased against it, but this morning I will try to keep an open mind and see really what this motorcycle lane is all about. So here you see both on the left side and right side of this lane are blue lines, which is supposed to indicate motorcycle lane. One of the problems that it pointed out with this motorcycle lane is that it coincides with the truck lane. And that's not really good if you're a motorcyclist, because many times we are out of the line of sight of these big trucks, and it kind of is a dangerous thing. So I would flag that bing as one of the things that we should all be aware of, maybe something that the MMDA should consider in its motorcycle lane policy. So yeah, when the trucks are out, the trucks aren't out yet. Oh, this is the other thing about these lanes are horrendous. Look at that asphalt. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, it's terrible. So when the trucks are out and the trucks aren't out yet, motorcycles will be mixing up with the trucks, and that's not very safe, I think. If any of you are keen observers of a lot of these vehicular crashes, especially, let's see, now we're shifting lanes, vehicular crashes involving trucks, semis, dump trucks, cement trucks. Look at this lane, it's horrendous. You will notice that many times the blame is put on faulty brakes. And can you imagine being sandwiched between a truck in front of you and a truck behind you that has lost its brakes? Motorcyclist has practically no chance of survival there. So that's not a good thing. Why would you want to put motorcycles with trucks? So MMDA, oh, see, look at this, look at that, look at that, horrendous, horrendous. And of course, in a motorcycle, you feel those bumps and cracks and defects in the asphalt. So ride quality sucks. I mean, look at that, look at that. Oh, fuck. Damn. Look at that. Oh shit, I have to ride through that. So yeah, don't mix motorcycles with trucks, MMDA. That's not safe for the motorcyclists, especially with all these trucks, quote unquote, losing their brakes. So when the MMDA, here we go again, look at that, oh fun. When the MMDA a couple weeks back issued its press release on the motorcycle lane and the bus lane, I will try to find the link and provide it down below. Shit, this is terrible. They said the press release says that the MMDA modifies its motorcycle lane and truck lane policy. When I pressed them on what modifications had been made, they really had no answer for me. They basically said, well, sir, it's really no. I'm going to have to avoid that, sorry. It's really not a modification, they said. It's just stricter enforcement. Okay, well, I don't know. I don't think it's just semantics, but when you have a press release that says a policy has been modified, that means changes have been made to that policy. And so in fact, changes weren't made to the policy. It's just that they're making a big deal about their renewed vigor to enforce the motorcycle lane and yellow bus lane policy, of which there is an existing, I think, a 2012 policy. Again, I'll put the link down below. Yeah, so far the ride is pretty rough. I mean, when I'm in a car, this is actually the lane I try to avoid, not because of the trucks or the motorcycles, but because the quality is just so bad. It's just horrendous. Even in a car, so you can imagine what it is in a motorcycle. Yep, so far the lane has been very clearly marked. I am told that, or I read in that press release of theirs, that motorcycles will be allowed to overtake on the right side, which is what I'm doing right now. Then get back into this horrendous, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna overtake on the right here, sorry. But I'm gonna also try to avoid that really bad stretch of road. Okay, here we go again. It's unclear. I will assume it's the right lane that's a motorcycle lane, even if I've got the red line on my side and the blue line is actually on the other lane. It's a little confusing, MMDA. Am I supposed to use the right lane or the left lane? Like I said, I'm just assuming I'm supposed to use the right lane. So here we come out of the tunnel and then we lose the blue line. It's kind of faint. Oh, there it is again. But again, it seems to be on the right side of the left lane, while I have on my left side the red lane, which I think is the truck lane. So MMDA, you need to clarify these things. Which is the motorcycle lane here? Is it the left or is it the right? Bing, I think that's number 2. That needs clarification from the MMDA. Look, it's actually on. You've got the yellow and the white and blue dash line on this side, and then here completely disappears. And we have a sign up there, if you can see it. It says motorciclo. So I guess I'm supposed to be here, but because they have recently asphalted this portion of C5 and haven't yet been able to put the, oh look at that pothole, haven't yet been able to put the lane markers in, I'll just use that sign we saw as a guide. Oh, see, there it is. That's from the old. See, now the blue lane's over there. So let me move over. But again, it's kind of sketchy, right? It's sometimes here, sometimes not. You never know. And then look up there. Can you see the pedestrian? The sign there on the pedestrian crosswalk overpass there. Motorciclo. Again on the right lane, and yet the blue line is over here and there. MMDA, this is confusing. Here you have two blue lines between the two blue lines. So in theory, this is the lane for the motorcycles. But the sign that we saw there, pedestrian overpass, seems to indicate that the motorcycle lane was on the rightmost. MMDA, you really need to figure these things out. You know, and this is the thing with MMDA and their policy making. They issue the policy, but then they don't come up with a supporting whatever it is. If it's the infrastructure, the supporting signage, it's not there. I think just yesterday I saw someone posted that the MMDA is also issuing a policy, order 17-004, talking about high occupancy vehicle lanes along EDSA. And they have dedicated the innermost lane, that is the lane closest to the center island, to high occupancy vehicles being private vehicles with 2 or more people inside. Again, here we go, asphalt overlay, no lines. So I will use that to go into the lane I find to be most convenient, and no MMDA traffic enforcer can tell me I'm not following the lane. So anyway, going back to the high occupancy vehicle policy, so they come up with these policies, but do they come up with the necessary signage and road markings along EDSA? They said that there'll be a trial run, if I remember correctly, from the December 11th to 17th, and then, did I read right, that strict enforcement would start on the 22nd of December. So between then and now, I hope the MMDA puts up signs to inform the motorists that the leftmost lane is a high occupancy vehicle lane. And I have no quibbles with the high occupancy vehicle idea and concept. It makes perfect sense, encourages people to double up, to carpool, whatever. But the problem with these kinds of policies is many times it's not supported by the proper signage and information campaign. You know, they'll publish it in 2 major dailies as is required of them, but you know, everybody's online nowadays. How many people really read hard copy newspapers? Who's going to see it? Social media, probably. I'm assuming that they're disseminating on social media as well. But going back to the motorcycle lane, again here on the overpass, the flyover, yeah, the blue line in the center, but it's on the right side of the left lane, and on the left side of my lane I've got the red-orange line, I think, which is the truck lane line. So it's confusing, MMDA. Look at those motorcycles, they're not following the blue lane. And here we go, continuation of the blue lane. And it disappears again. And then we have a little snatch there, but and then a little there. And then you have a little remnant here on the left, a little here on the right. So it's confusing to motorcyclists. Which is the motorcycle lane, right? And then here, there you see a little blue, and here, see? You see 2 blue and blue? Do I jump over here then, from there? There you still have the blue there. So it's infinitely confusing, MMDA. I hope you bother to watch this video. Yeah, a little snatch of blue there, a little blue there, again a little blue there, little hints that maybe you're in the right lane without any positive confirmation. So MMDA, as a motorcyclist, where am I supposed to be? Please let me know. And here, there's complete absence of any blue lines. There, no, there, over there, you see it? Second from the left lane. Some evidence of blue lines. So let me see if I can move over there. But again, it's not very clearly marked. It's not very clear to the motorcyclist. Where is the lane? Right. So here the quality has improved a bit. It's concrete. As I said in another video, I don't know if that video's up yet, but in another video I prefer asphalt over concrete. Concrete's very hard. When you ride on it, it's louder. It puts more wear on your tires. I prefer asphalt, like what we just passed earlier. Yeah, but at least it's smooth, because that asphalt that we were going over earlier is just rough. So we're at Pasig, just past the Tiendesitas SM Hypermart area, and to get to the end of C5 I figure we probably got another 10-12 kilometers to go. And we'll see how the rest of this motorcycle lane looks. So far, sketchy. There are parts that are well marked, and then there are parts that are really just very iffy. Like here, you have kind of like a faded blue line on the left here, on my left. But no other, there, it's gone. Oh no, here on the right, there's a little, there we go, again. Oh, here, I have a pair. So it seems you're in the right lane, but you're never really sure, because the line keeps on disappearing. And I know what the MMDA will say if I get stopped. They're gonna say, well, you should know, dapat alam mo. You know, MMDA, that doesn't work. Hindi yung mga dapat alam mo. It's not our burden to try to guess. Oh, look at this, 1, 2, 3 blue lines. So which is it? Is it this line or is it this lane? So it's not our obligation to guess what the rules are. The rules should be very clear, either in a policy. Oh, here, so you have a blue line there, you have a blue line here, and you have blue lines here, and then you have this dashed line crossing over to the left. I don't know what that means. Am I now supposed to shift to the other lane? But okay, let's assume we're supposed to shift. But still, look at that. It's not 2 blue lines on that lane, and nothing here. Just this one here. And there you have, look, what seems to be the motorcycle lane, because you've got the blue dash lines. So here, nothing. I've got nothing here in terms of a little faint blue there. So MMDA. So this is what I'm saying. So you shouldn't expect motorists to know their lane assignments. Am I supposed to know inherently? Oh, here, now there are no blue markings. So what am I supposed to assume here? Am I supposed to assume left or right? Since I've been on right most of the morning, I'll stay on the right. But if I'm on the left and I get stopped, I'm going to say, hey, MMDA, there's no marking. How can you stop me? Hey, sir, that's always the answer I get every time I'm stopped, whether on a motorcycle. Though I haven't been stopped on a motorcycle. But when I get stopped in a car, they expect you to know these kinds of things. There are certain things that you should know. Right of way, how to handle an intersection, what a stoplight means, all of that, yeah. But when they impose these sort of very unique concepts and ideas, like a motorcycle lane, and they say it's marked by the blue lines. Okay, well, I only see one blue line here in the middle. So, am I left, am I right? Again, I'm just assuming I'm on the right. Again, it disappears, MMDA, and if I could measure the kilometers where there is a blue line clearly marked and there where isn't, my guess is less than 50% of what I've traveled so far has clearly marked motorcycle lanes. And I will say that this, with one blue line in the center, is not a clearly marked motorcycle lane, because we don't know which side of that line we're supposed to be on. And there, again, a little remnant of blue just sort of hints where a motorcycle lane might be. And there you have some faint blue lines, and I guess, okay, it's getting a little clearer. So let me move back in. Okay, here we have it, clearly marked on my left and on my right. So I'm traveling through this motorcycle lane. And it disappears. It's gone. So just stay in this lane. Assume this is the lane. We'll see. Again, no markings. And I've stayed in the lane when I last saw the blue lines. This is the same lane, and now it's shifted over. So here it looks very clean, very clear where the motorcycle lane is, and that right there says it should be on the other lane. Again, very confusing, MMDA, very confusing. So, I am allowed to overtake on the right. But what is overtaking me? Like, am I overtaking now, or am I just violating the motorcycle lane policy? What is overtake? How do you define overtaking? Is it one car per one car? You go back in, then go back out, overtake, go back in, go back out? Or can this be considered one long overtaking maneuver? Because this truck is traveling too slow. And I'll move back into the lane again. Thank you, it's very clearly marked. I'm a slow moving vehicle. I will overtake on the right. And then get back in. But here, this is the kind of marking I would expect. Clearly marked, both on the left and right side of the lane. Leaves no doubt. Overtake. But I will remind you that I agree with a lot of the comments out there that for trucks and motorcycles to share a lane is troublesome, especially in the dark when the trucks are out and you have motorcycles squeezed between trucks. And let's say you have a truck driver who's drowsy, sleepy, loses his brakes, is high on meth, whatever, and he loses focus on the road in front of him, doesn't brake in time, squeezes a motorcyclist to death. Oh, here, now we've shifted. I don't know. Is this the lane here? Because there's blue on the right. Okay. So it's not so convenient to always overtake on the right. Here, I like the asphalt here. It's still a little uneven, but better than before and a lot better than cement. And I think once they re-asphalted this not too long ago, and they put the lines back on, so they were good about putting the motorcycle lane. So good for that, happy for that. Very clearly marked. So here we are in the motorcycle lane. Again, MMDA, what are the rules on overtaking? How do you define overtaking? You're following. Oh gosh, dangerous move by that guy. Lane straddler, will you figure out which lane you want? Thank you very much. So this stretch of C5, somewhere near the market area, probably until this East Service Road, is going to be well marked. Thank you, MMDA. Oh, but then you have that blue dash line over there. What does that mean? What does that blue dash line mean? So the other thing about policy making at the MMDA, it doesn't really seem to be evidence-based. The other day I read, I think I referred to RO, Road Order 17-004, which will, I don't know, that's a high occupancy vehicle memorandum. I think I saw somewhere that the MMDA was considering, or it has implemented or will implement, a 50 kilometer per hour speed limit on EDSA. That's kind of laughable, because when was the last time you were able to go 50 kilometers per hour on EDSA? But on the days like Sunday, when EDSA is fairly free of traffic, you can actually reach 50 kilometers per hour. Oh, here the blue line disappears. MMDA. I'm on my own now. Going back to the 50 kilometers per hour on EDSA. Why do they think that's a good policy? What is the data or evidence that supports the implementation of such a policy? What makes 50 kilometers per hour any safer than 40 kilometers per hour any safer than 60 kilometers per hour? Is it the slower you go, the more safer? What logic are they following? What evidence have they based this proposed policy on? Here, the blue motorcycle lane begins again. So again, it's clearly marked. And so I'm reaching about the end of C5 as we hit the East Service Road. I will turn around here. That drops the review of the motorcycle lane on the opposite end. And you see up ahead this sort of dashed blue line, so I guess that's indicating that the motorcycle lane can move over. Okay, so I'm exiting and I'm going to make a U-turn, go back. So MMDA on the southbound stretch of C5 from the, where was I, Tandang Sora area all the way to the East Service Road. I will have to give your motorcycle lane on a 5-star rating, probably like a 2-star, because there are many stretches there where it's unclear where exactly that motorcycle lane is. You got to do better than that. So I will sign off for now. Catch you in a bit. Okay, for those of you who have just joined me, I am on C5 doing a review of the motorcycle lane. I did a southbound portion, now this is northbound. And we're here, I don't know exactly where we are, somewhere in Taguig, near Heritage Memorial Park, and we have the blue lane. And it's a little confusing, as I said in the first part of this video. Here we have a solid blue line on the left and a dashed blue line sort of stretching out to encompass now 2 lanes. So which is the motorcycle lane? It's unclear again. Because you've got the solid blue line here, but then you've got the dashed blue line over there. And you have 2 lanes sandwiched in between these 2 lines. So which is the motorcycle lane, MMDA? Plus you have signage on these pedestrian bridges, pedestrian overpasses that seem to indicate another. Oh, here, you've got it. Blue line has disappeared. MMDA. I don't know where it is. I don't know where the motorcycle lane is. But I haven't shifted lanes since earlier, so I'm assuming this is still the motorcycle lane. So I'll stay here for the moment. Up there it is. The blue line has reappeared. MMDA, I hope you're watching this and you take it with an open mind. The point of this video is really to show you from a rider's perspective what it means to ride this motorcycle lane. And from the first part of this video, you will realize that it is confusing. Here again, we have the solid blue line on my left and the dashed blue line on the right of this lane. So, and then we have 2 solid blue lines here. So now I guess this is clearly the motorcycle lane. Again, very clear indication. And this is the way it should be. If you really want to implement the motorcycle lane, MMDA, this is the way the lane should be marked, so it's clear. I'd also like an answer, MMDA, on what constitutes overtaking. Is this overtaking? When I'm overtaking multiple vehicles at a time before getting back into the motorcycle lane? Or am I in violation? Here again, overtake. And I want to overtake all these trucks because they're kind of slow. Am I in violation, MMDA? I don't know. Unclear what overtaking means. And your policy on overtaking isn't written down anywhere, I'm sure. So riders and motorists have no reference point. The press release, which I think came out mid-November, November 17, I think, said that motorcycles will be allowed to overtake on the right lane, on the left lane. But what is overtaking? So if I'm caught on this innermost left lane, I can always say, hey, I'm overtaking. Right? So here we have, it's clearly marked. But for how long, we're not sure. And there, if you look at that sign, it says motorcycle. But it seems to be over this 3rd lane here. So what is it, MMDA? And this is something I would like to suggest to you, respectfully, MMDA. Make your signage, your road markings, clear and consistent, so that the motorists, whether riding a motorcycle or car, it's clear to them what the policy is by reading the signs, because it's unclear. Well, that's the other thing about these motorcycle lanes, because it is also the truck lane. There is really bad grooving here, which is dangerous for motorcycles. It can throw you off balance. So there are parts of this truck lane where there's deep grooving, because a lot of these trucks, it's one or both of the following. It's either trucks are overloaded and the asphalt road can't take the overload, or The asphalt road is poorly constructed because of contractors who want to save money, or both. So I'm overtaking here at MMDA. Again, your policy there. Okay, it's kind of consistent. So let me go back into the lane. Okay, so this part, well marked, well demarcated MMDA. And again, as I've been saying throughout this video, this is kind of what I would expect in terms of clear road markings, so it's unambiguous. So it's only 8:30 and there's congestion on the roads. Is there construction? I don't know. Here, again, the blue markings have disappeared completely, and only to reappear again. But again, it's only reappearing in the center. But I would assume the right lane is a motorcycle lane, so here we are. No blue lines, and then we continue to see. I see on the lane on the right of this lane. Oh, here we go. It continues out of nowhere on the left, and it seems to guide the motorcyclists back to this lane. Okay, so that confuses me. Was the motorcycle lane the left lane on the flyover, or the right lane of the flyover? A little unclear. I'm overtaking here. And back into the motorcycle lane. Blue lines are back again. And here again with the deep grooves in the truck/motorcycle lane. It's not safe, MMDA. It's not safe. You shouldn't be turning there. Yeah, MMDA, these grooves, these truck grooves in the truck lane are really dangerous for bikers. Throws off your balance. I don't know if you can see them in the video, but there are grooves here. Grooves caused by the tires of the wheels. Grooves caused by the tires of trucks. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so the other thing is, when you're in a truck lane like this, you can't see in front of you. And that's not good for a motorcyclist. Visibility is important. You gotta be able to see ahead of you. You have to be driving 3, 4, 5 car lengths ahead of you to anticipate the traffic. Blocked by a truck, you have no idea what's going on in front. And I will end this part of the video, this part of the review here. Do a quick side errand. But just a quick note, what does this mean, MMDA? Am I really supposed to make a left in this lane? It's unclear. You've got the cones here. Sometimes you let people go straight, sometimes you stop them if they go straight from this lane. You have a sign up there that says straight. You know, look at that. Look at that sign up there. Left turn, truck. Straight, then 2 straight white arrows. So what does that mean? Does that mean from the second lane, the truck lane, you can go straight? Right? What does that mean, MMDA? Well, I'm going to end this video right here. I have to run a quick errand. But that's my review of the southbound C5 from Tandang Sora to the East Service Road, and from East Service Road all the way here to Ibis. MMDA, I hope you listened and watched. Again, just some road user comments about your motorcycle lane. Hope you take it well. Hope you take it with an open mind. And try to make it clear for everyone, so that everyone is safe, everyone is clear. Oh, I love that, love that. I love that. Is that allowed, MMDA? Is that really allowed? Who knows? So that's it for now. Signing out. I'll catch you at the next round.